Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This is where you get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. With news that India is to make a massive recapitalisation of its state-owned banks. But first, sales of new single-family homes in the US in September climbed to a new all-time high and were a remarkable 17% higher than the same month a year ago. This was miles above market's expectations. In the same time, new orders for key American-made durable goods also rose more than expected in September, and shipments rose to an 8-month high. Together, this activity will be a strong mitigation of the storm effects that hit the regions of some of their economy in late August and early September. And the Bank of Canada reviewed its policy rate overnight and has kept it at 1%. It raised its 2018 growth forecast, however, to 3.1% and said their economy is running at close to its potential. However, they noted there is some remaining slack in their labour markets and said high growth can continue without inflation becoming materially above target for a while yet at least. India has announced it will inject a staggering $45 billion into its state-controlled banks over the next 2 years. This is much higher than has been previously signalled and shows a determination to drive economic growth, already high, on an even faster track. Credit rating agencies like the move, which comes after some criticism of the Modi government's approach to growth and reform. India is Asia's third largest economy after China and Japan, and the world's 7th largest, although surprisingly it's the world's 3rd largest on a PPP basis. In what might seem to be an odd move by a country that holds more than $3 trillion in US dollar-denominated reserves, China is returning to the international bond markets for the first time in 13 years with a $2 billion offering of US dollar bonds. Bankers have begun marketing China's 5- and 10-year bonds to investors primarily in Asia and Europe, and the security is expected to be priced on Thursday tomorrow. And China has released the names of the 7 men, yes, all men, who will rule China for the next 5 years in their new Politburo Standing Committee. Well, actually, 1 man will rule, but these 7 are the next level down, and there is no successor to Xi among them. Xi looks like he is now in there at the top for life. In Germany, business confidence has reached a new all-time high. And in Australia, their CPI inflation rose by 1.8% in the year ending September 2017 and rose 0.6% in the September quarter alone. Inflation growth has slowed somewhat in 2017 in Australia, but it's up from 1.3% in the year to September 2016. In New York, the US Treasury 10-year yield is up yet again, now at 2.45%, a new 6-month high. Markets are watching to see if it can hold above 2.4%. The price of crude oil is marginally lower today, now down to just over $52 a barrel, while the Brent benchmark is just over $58 a barrel. The price of gold is also down. It's down $3 now to $1,271 an ounce. And the Kiwi dollar has slipped slightly from this time yesterday, now at 68.8 US cents. On the cross rates, we've recovered somewhat against the Aussie to 89.2 Aussie cents, but slipped further against the euro to 58.2 euro cents. That puts our TWI at 71.7. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.